Morning peeps, this is Big Mike. I wanted to bring you a video with some tips, tricks, or even hacks on a game I've been testing out recently. Please be sure to leave me a comment, bang the thumbs up button, and then hit the red subscribe button. And then be sure to ring the bell for notifications of my future videos. And wanted to do a quick Myst video and kind of go over the top 10 things I think you should do in Myst as a beginner, as well as I got a couple hacks, or what I call hacks, and then also some ways to keep inventory and move things around that just don't work. What I've learned, if you move your storage items outside of your building, this is kind of the first thing I've figured out. When you die, anything that's not in your inventory on your body or in your building does not deteriorate, or you don't lose it. So pretty much, and unless further in the game I find out differently, like bandits steal stuff that are outside, I pretty much decided move everything outside, because anything that's not inside the building that you've claimed as your shelter, you don't lose it on death. A lot of people probably want stuff inside, but really there's no reason to just have everything. Let's just put everything outside. It helps out a lot, and when you die, and you're going to die, it pretty much prevents you from that extra little bit of loss. And like I said, what's the big deal about having stuff outside versus inside? But that's kind of like the big one that I thought was really cool. Found that keeping my inventory empty when I'm not doing anything other than, like, if I'm just gathering stuff, keep your inventory empty except for the tools you need. And then if you get injured or something, run and put it in your storage units that are sitting outside. So that was the first idea. But the next one is really important. That one is when you hit the escape button. When you first start playing, by default, the save game is autosave on. That worked great for me the first episode, and then I noticed when I logged in the second time, autosave was turned off. Kind of sucks if you do a lot of gathering, a lot of work. You're going to end up losing all that work. All that stuff's gone. You're going to lose it. So that's number 2. The next thing that I noticed when I was playing the game, I kind of did a little research and found the save file location for Myst. It's under C, or your root drive, C/users, your username, app data, appdata /local/Myst serve, SURV /saved. And what I would suggest you do is you open up Windows Explorer and just copy those files out, put them in your location every once in a while. Like, I pretty much make a backup copy before every game. It is an alpha game, so good run at the game and don't want to lose what you've done. As soon as you log out, I would suggest you quickly do a backup of that folder. Just copy it, save it out to your desktop, name it the date of whatever you're running, today's date, and then tomorrow when you play, make another backup of that date. That also allows you can replace that saved folder at any point with that previous save. Just dump it in and you can play from where you left off. 4 is to craft a crowbar as soon as possible. Obviously, crowbars are going to come in real handy when you're going into new areas and you're looking for items. You go in, and every little shelter has potential for you to find a room that's locked or a safe lockbox. You can use a crowbar to open them up, and almost always you're going to get some pretty good loot, maybe some weapons. You're going to find that there's always something that you can grab. Inventory increase, those kind of things. Craft you a crowbar. Pretty quickly in the game, you probably have run into the crafting tables. Those are easy to move along as well. So you move one of those back to your base, craft you a crowbar, and you should be well prepared to loot other areas as you grow. I believe there's one of the crafting tables here in this building, so let's just go in here real quick and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Right here is a workbench. I called it a crafting table. Sorry for mixing that with some of the other games I've played. And again, just pick that thing up and carry it on out. It's a little difficult sometimes to get it outside, but look at there. There's no need to craft your own when you can grab it and move it to your base. So again, you open it up, and I believe it's right there. So you go to the axe, and it's the 4th one down, crowbar. You'll need 6 metal scraps and 2 components to craft that. That's invaluable. You should almost always carry a crowbar with you anywhere you go in the game. Okay, so the next tip is you want to make, we'll just leave this window open, you want to make water bottles. Those are extremely invaluable because, as you will find, you will run out of liquids and things to drink often. So I'll run over here, you hit V, and you would drop your water bottle right here in this slot and fill it up with dirty water. And you would run it back to your base. I would suggest making 2 at least, maybe 4 is a good start. And then when you carry those back to your base, we'll look at the next top 10 things to do. And that would be to build a distillery for water. When you build that, go back and we'll open up, maybe let's hit B. It's probably under the master crafting structure building. There it is. Water purifier. I'm sorry, I was saying distillery. Water purifier. You have to craft a bucket, and then obviously do several things here to create your water purifier, not your distiller. Distillers for alcohol. And then once you make that, you drop it outside your base and then put the water in, and you can be cranking out water. You'll basically have water in unlimited supplies. The next tip is, as you run by all the cars, you'll notice that these cars have the little symbol above them. Those are always the cars that you can take. You can repair them and work on them and put parts in them. Whenever you come up to them, if you find one you want, open it up and drop all of your parts. So you're going to find, a few parts here and a few parts there. Run up to a car, you open it up. There's some gas in this one. If I had a gas tank, I'd drop it in there and pull the gas out. But you'll find these parts on, you may find an engine, you may find spark plugs, you might find battery, who knows. There's any number of things you can find as you're playing the game. Grab those and carry them up to the car that you're working on, that you want to keep as your one to drive. And I'll show you here. I think I've dropped some parts in here. So that's what I've done. I dropped an engine, spark plug. I dropped some extra metal scraps in here just for a backup, but drop those into your car. And then obviously, see here, I've got everything's ready to go. Engine, spark plugs, battery, 4 tires. Just need to put some gas in it, and then I've got an extra engine and spark plugs in the trunk. That's a huge thing. As you get your your up and going, you'll want to have those extra parts in the back of your car so that you're able to drive around as much as you want, and then you don't have to worry about, your spark plugs are going to die on you. Other things are going to stop working, and you want to be able to jump out, grab the spark plug, swap them into the car as quickly as possible. The next tip is making a gas tank, and as that comes in real handy right now because I just showed you I don't have a gas tank. So it's going to be on the workbench, and there it is. Of course, earlier I said you had to create the crowbar, there's their bucket, and there's their gas can. These are all in the workbench. Grab the gas can, carry it with you in the car, and every car you pass, jump out, grab the gas out of the vehicle, and put it back in the car. Then the next tip, this is number 9, I believe. Carry water and food at all times. Everybody's thinking, oh, wow, that's obvious, but you never realize, like I just showed you guys a second ago, I was running around, I didn't have anything with me. I became dehydrated. I did have a soda in my inventory, so I took that, and I'm good to go. A couple bottles of water, a couple cans of food, always comes in handy. Last thing is when you build a fire pit. A lot of people have asked this question. When you build a fire pit, you build a grill, you build a cooking pot, they kind of go together, and you want to do cooking. Let's say you create a cooking pot and a grill stand. If you create those items, the cooking pot and a grill stand, it doesn't do anything at all for you unless you put a fire underneath it. If you put one of these two guys underneath it, then you can actually use the cooking pot, you can use the grill stand. It's not real obvious when you first start playing. You drop those down, you try to figure out, you drop food into them. It's not real clear what's going on. The next thing I noticed are some hacks that were pretty cool. If you can kill 1 or 2 of the bandits, even if there's like 5 of them, you can come back immediately after dying, loot your body where you died, get your stuff back, and the other bandits die by default. So I'm not sure why, but we're going to run up here and we're going to test this out. It's at night, so it's kind of hard to see what I'm doing. So you can see there's like 1, 2, 3, 4. There's like 5 bandits. We're going to kill one of these guys. One's down. Alright, so I'm out of ammo. Alright, so they killed me. The only 2 things I lost in that death were my gun and the knife. So those are the only 2 things I had on me, and that's what I lost. So we're going to run back now. It's kind of interesting. See if this persists in the same issue that I saw before. I killed one of the guys, and all of the other guys disappeared on me earlier. Let's see. We're looking, and sure enough, look at there. So I don't see anybody now. So all of the bandits have died. There's my gun. So I'm going to pick my gun up. Apparently, if you kill 1 or 2, they all just disappear. So now I can come into this bandit camp and I can loot all the good stuff. There's this stuff in the crate. This one's locked, so if I'd have brought my crowbar, I could have opened this up. And there's an M4. All kinds of stuff. So that's kind of a hack, I guess. Some people probably won't like seeing that. Inside of here is Scott. It's one of the survivors that you can rescue, and he'll stay at your base. You can give him a gun and ammo, and he'll kind of guard your base. But again, it's a pretty cool little what I call kind of a hack. One of the other hacks that I've kind of thought through that, you know, it's not really a hack, but just kind of common sense is, you know, hit the escape button, turn autosave off, and save the game just prior to running into the camp. And that way, if something happens that you don't like, you exit out of the game and come back in, and you can fight these guys again. So that's the first two quick little things. One thing I've noticed, the next one, the number 3 hack that I kind of thought was interesting is when the mist arrives, let's say you're out, you've been driving around for a long time, you're kind of doing all kinds of cool stuff, and you're a long ways from your base. Simply jumping in the car, you hit F, you're in the car, the doors are closed. During a mist, you can be inside the car and no zombies will notice you at all. They won't do anything to you. They won't bother you. Nothing at all. You could even drive and they won't notice you. If you jump out of the car and make any noise or they notice you, they will come after you. And then once you get back in the car, they will actually attack the car and cause damage to the car. So the thing to remember is, as soon as mist comes, jump in the car and just relax for a little bit. So that's the third hack. The fourth one, I've not had too much testing time with this one, but I tested putting items in front of the windows. Some people were saying that if you put things in front of the windows, that the zombies will break them, and I think that is true. But I've actually had zombies not, if I put them on the outside like this, they come up to the window, they see me, they kind of thrash like they're going to hit, and then they walk off. That one's probably one you need to test to see if it works for you and your circumstance. I've also tested moving the water barrel to where it is, you can kind of turn it and place it right in front of your walkway like that, to kind of, you know, you can grab a couple of these guys and drop them down, and it completely blocks the steps. That, you know, that may be a tactic that they patch or fix or change, but from what I've seen, those things work. Storage units on the inside, for some reason, they could possibly break those, but either way, you know, try one or the other. Don't put items in it. If you're in a mist and zombies are attacking your building, see what happens. You know, save. Do like I said, hit escape, turn the autosave off and hit save game, and then see what happens. See if the zombies actually break your storage units or they're able to come through the other items. So that kind of covers the top 10 things to, you know, tricks that you need to know, the top 4 hacks that I've kind of figured out. And then I'm going to give you a couple, 2 or 3 things that just flat out didn't work for me. At this first little base you can come to, a lot of people spawn at, you come out to the side and you find little blueberries sitting around on the ground. I was snatching those up and I was eating them and trying to do my best to find more and more and more of them. In the end, they really do like 1% of your food and thirst, so they really don't do a whole lot of good for you. So the effort, as you can see, trying to find these blueberries, I was spending a tremendous amount of time, and then when I would find one, I would eat it and it would be like 1 or 2%. Hunger and my thirst would go up. So just totally not worth finding the blueberries. One thing that I tried to test, dropping storage units on top of the car and also in the back seat of the car. And I'll show you right now. Let's say I was going to take this car for a drive. I was opening the doors and I would get really close and I thought maybe I could drop items in the back seat. And what I found is they go right through to the ground. So that item is down on the ground below the car. It's not in the car. So if you take off driving, it's going to remain there. Nothing's going to stay in the car. Not like you can drop stuff on the steps of your base. Let's pick this guy up. You run up here. See, I dropped these earlier. You just drop all these guys on the stairs of your base. They persist. Those will be there every save, every time I come back until I use them. So the car doesn't quite work that way. And I also tried throwing a storage unit, and the interesting thing is you can actually drop the storage unit on top of the car, but once you take off, it just ends up staying in that location. It floats in the air. All right, so that guy's sitting on the car, and when you drive off, it will stay right there. That would have been a pretty cool little hack if it had worked, but I would have loaded up all my storage units on the car and just basically had a moving shelter. That's pretty much it. I tried all those things. I just wanted to give you guys a list of things that are cool to do, some hacks, and maybe some things that just don't waste your time to try and to do. Again, this is Big Mike, and please hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, leave me a message or two, leave me some notes. What games do you guys want me to play, and what kind of things do you want me to try out? Hope this helped you guys, and as always, have a good morning.